Hey guys, I see we got a couple of people that popped on. Hope everyone's doing well today, having a good weekend. Just thought I would give a quick update on yesterday's race, and then I was going to conduct a little experiment on the V3 based on yesterday at our race. We weren't able to run the V3, which was disappointing to me because I've been spending a lot of time on my V3 spec racer cars, and I really was looking forward to running them, and I didn't get to because of the question on the magnets, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So I ended up running this car, which is my Fusion, that I actually came in 4th place at Fast Eddie's with this car. It ran well, but I don't think it runs as well as my V3s. And I lent this car to Vinny, who you know, he races here. This car runs well. I built this car kind of on a whim the day before, like on Friday. Hey, Snuggy. And I was impressed with how this car ran. Actually, I think it runs better than this car that I ended up racing. But I let Vinny keep. After I found out I couldn't run my V3, I almost wanted to take this car from Vinny and run it. But I let him run it, and sure enough, he beat me by 2 laps in the spec racer with my own car. I thought I would show you guys real quick. Maybe I can put this on the camera. Kind of give you a quick race result. Hopefully you can see all that. So this was the IROC race. We used Viper jets. Those are inline Fusion type Viper V-Spec cars, but without traction magnets. They're brass weight car, like a gravity car. We ran those at 12 volts. And you could see I had a pretty good showing. I came in 5th. I tied. There was 3 of us that had 80 laps. If I didn't screw up when I was racing blue, there was a crash between me and the white car, and when they put the cars back on the track, I don't know why I started following the white car. I wasn't even watching my own blue car, and that cost me. I was only 1 lap out of 3rd place. I probably would have had at least 81, if not 82 laps. But this was a close race. This is what's fun about IROC, is a lot of guys were within, 5-6 laps of the leader. So that was a fun race, and I did pretty well in that race. I was okay with that. Well, they don't always beat me, but yes, I have lent out cars that I got beat with my own cars. Hey, Steve. So next class was box stock, and my car ran well. I guess I needed to drive it a little bit better. I thought I did pretty good in box stock, but I had 131 laps, but I was a good, 17 laps behind the winner, which was a little disappointing. I thought I would have done better. Now, this Vero track is a tricky track. It's a pretty hard track, but still, I needed to do better on the white lane in particular, where I only did 32 laps. I needed to be up closer to the 36, 38 area. I should have did a little better on red as well. So that kind of cost me in box stock, but I'll take it. Spec racer class. This is where I was disappointed. Again, I did 158 laps. Now, the last spec racer I had a fourth place finish at Fast Eddie's, and I was literally like 6 laps from the leader. This race, I was almost 20 laps behind the leader, and that I don't like. I don't like. I know these guys are really good racers, but I feel like I've progressed to the point where I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be losing by almost 20 laps to the top guys. That gets a little frustrating. But, even Chris and Ed did 161, 162, which is only a few more laps than me. And those guys are good racers. But still, I was hoping for a better finish. I think if I ran my V3, I would have had a better finish. And then Super Stock, also, I was 20 laps off from the leader. I did 151. Yeah, just my silly sponge ceramic car. I've yet to get a really good running car for some. I think it's just my setup. I don't have the tires right on those cars, so I got to work on that. Anyway, those were the race results. Not horrible. I mean, I was competitive, but, Hey, Carl. So I ended up running this car in Super Stock. This car is actually faster. I think I should have put this rear axle in this car. I've just been having a hard time sourcing these silly sponge tires. Nobody has them in the size I need right now. I hope I can find some more before next month's race. So that was the race. I had fun. I always have fun, and that's the important thing for me, really. I just like going and having a good time. Fellow racers. I might work on some more fusions depending on how it goes. We'll see. Build another fusion. I was tearing cars apart before yesterday, building cars and robbing from one chassis to another, and that's what all these extra parts are. I got rid of a couple of hood cars and turned them into N-Bell cars, but I do have enough parts to build some hood cars. I could build a ceramic Super Stock, which is what these magnets are, or a Pro 4 Spec Racer Fusion. We'll see. I might slap together a car, see how it goes. That's what I ended up doing with the car Vinny ran, which is a hood car, and this car ran really well. Sometimes you build a car, you don't expect much out of it. You put it on the track, and you're like, dang, that thing's running pretty good. Yeah, if you're not having fun, then why are you doing it? I mean, I got into this hobby because it was fun, and I want to have fun. I don't take it that seriously. I mean, I don't like to do poorly, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So, the V3 Saga. Both these cars are Hopra legal V3s. They have orange dot motor magnets in them. These green dot magnets, I say green because they kind of have a green dot on that doesn't look green, but that is actually a green dot. And hold on, let me get my scale. So what my group was trying to do, the club I raced with yesterday, Terry Flynn actually sent them a car, the guy who does all our tech. And he was trying to use that, and it had the green, it was technically a not legal car. And he was measuring it on their downforce meter. The scale they use, the height of the car doesn't matter. You could have the car as low as you want. It sits on that meter where the tires and the height of the car don't come into play. It's just the force of the magnets. Now my scale does, the height of the car does make a difference. So the lower you go, the higher the reading I'm going to get on this scale. But I'm still going to use this just as a gauge to see. I'm curious to see. So what happened was my car, which has legal magnets, actually had a higher number on the scale than the car with the stronger magnets that Terry sent. It didn't make any sense. A bunch of guys that had V3s with legal magnets were showing a higher number than the car that supposedly had the illegal magnets in, or the not approved magnets in them. So they decided to not run V3s at yesterday's race. I believe we are going to be able to run them at next month's race. They're going to come up with some number, and as long as your car on the scale is within that number, you'll be able to race the car. So I was curious. I was going to take one of my cars apart, measure the total. First, I'm going to measure the total downforce. Now, when we took the individual magnets out, these were weaker with the Gauss meter compared to the green dot magnets. And I've already measured that with my individual scale as well. The green magnets are stronger. I don't recall if I did an overall check on this scale though. So let's see what we get with this car. I'm going to do it with the body on. We'll use this car as an example. I'll take this one apart. So I'm going to put the tire right up against that nub there. It's like right at 150. 149.6, almost 150. All right, remember that. 150. I'm going to take this apart. And let's see. I'm going to put the green dot magnets in this car. I'm going to leave the traction magnets in the same orientation that I took them out of this car. So I'm putting them off to the side so I could put them back in the exact same way. Take my motor out. All right. I just can't see that white dot on that magnet. Just want to put a dot on here so I know where that magnet goes. All right. So you can see clearly this has an orange dot on it. And this magnet is reading about laying it flat, it's reading 46. If you guys can see that. 45.9 on one side, 44.6 on the other. So definitely stronger on this side. So like 44 45.9. This other one is measuring 44 on one side, 44.7, 44.3, yeah, 44.3, and 43 on one side, and 44. Yeah, so 43, 44 on the orange dot magnets. Let's see what these green dot magnets are. Yeah, so they're definitely hot. These are definitely stronger. $52, 52.5. Yeah, 52. These magnets seem more consistent too. They're about the same on each side. 52. Yeah, these magnets do seem, yeah, 52.9, almost 53. And what were these? 44? That one's 46. So 46, 44. So these are almost 10 points. 53, just under. They're like 8 points higher on the individual magnet. So the green magnets are definitely stronger. I mean, this is showing it clear as day. Yet when we had the cars on that other scale, it wasn't working out. All right, I'm going to rebuild this car with the green dot magnets, and we'll take a total reading. Gotta look under my light for a second here. Alright. Alright, so the car is back together. I'm going to put these magnets back in the same exact way they were, which is like this. Okay, magnets are in, axle is in. Put the body back on, and we'll take a reading, see if it's above the 150 or 149.9, whatever it was. It is. It's 5. It's on my scale. It is more. It's playing out the way you would expect it. Almost 156 compared to 150. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the scale they were using and why the effect was, why it was different. Why a car with weaker magnets was having a higher number. Don't know what to make. Don't know what to make of it. But clearly, on my scale, the green dot magnets are providing a little bit more downforce. So we went from 150 to 156. And that's almost what the individual magnet, they were like 6 to 8 more points. So, and we have about 6 more points on the scale. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's playing out how I would expect it to. So, hopefully they figure something out before our next race, so we can run these cars. I'm going to swap these magnets back just so I can be legal again. Well, that's not the point. The point was why was my car with the weaker magnets was showing a higher number than the test car that had green magnets. It's not about, I knew they were more. That everybody knows the green dot motor magnets are stronger than the orange dot. But on the scale they were using yesterday, that wasn't what was showing. That wasn't the case. Our cars with orange magnets had a higher number than the car they were using as a reference with the green dot stronger magnets. So it didn't make any sense. I'm not trying to prove the green has more. I know it does. I just was curious when the car was built how it was going to look. 45. That's not the stronger side. 44. Yeah, it was, and they didn't know what. Nobody knew what to make of it, really. I mean, like I said, we actually tore the reference car apart, took the magnets out, and used a Gauss meter to measure the actual strength, and they were stronger. I think these magnets were under 1,000, and the green ones were like almost like they were 11 something, 1,100. So out of the car, they were stronger, but obviously we don't want to have to tear apart every car to tech the car because that will take forever. Because the problem is we don't want guys, maybe even unknowingly they buy a V3 not realizing it doesn't have approved, if it has the green dot magnets, those are not approved yet, so they can't run that car. That's what we're trying to, figure out is how to tell if a car has orange magnets or green magnets while the car is completely built. Curious to see what they come up with. They're supposed to be sending an email out to our group to kind of try and make a decision on that. All right, let's see if this is back to 150 range. Yep, 149. 149.5, so it definitely went down when I put the orange dot magnets back in it. So, anyway. That was kind of cool. Little test there. Hey, Rich. All right, so since we're just kind of hanging around, I figure why not, I'll put a car together, see if we can get a car running, one of these hood cars. one already has a motor already built up. You'd see when you move the arm, you want to see that brush move back and forth with the arm. Kind of hard to see the one in there, but it is moving. Interesting though that the brush sticks out way more on the top than it does down here. It is interesting. Let me get a tweezer and check something. This was not running well, this motor. I think that's why I took it out. I've kind of given up on these hood cars. I mean, I could build them, but to me, my N-Bell cars just run just as good. They're just as fast, and they seem to be more consistent. These cars, I think, when you crash them, I don't know, they could lose tension on the springs. They seem less durable. I think the brushes will last longer in this car because they are a much bigger brush, but the brushes in the N-Bell car, they last a pretty long time. So. HC has new bulkheads for what? For Tyco? Oh, N-Bells. HC has new N-Bells for the Viper? Really? And the newest Viper N-Bell is a Gen 4 N-Bell. They're about $10, $9-10 for the N-Bell. Well, let me see. Now you got me interested. I'm gonna go to HC Slots page and see what you're talking about. Where did you see these so-called new? I don't think there's new N-Bells. Let's see. Viper Scale Racing chassis and parts. I don't see that he would sell Gen 3 N-Bells. Those are older and not as good as the Gen 4 N-Bell. But I'm looking. Hold on. Was it like on the... Yeah, I mean, this is the current generation N-Bell with the Pro bushing. It's $9. Was that what you saw? AFW and Auto World. Oh, AFX. Yeah, why would there be an N bell? Well, the Super G Plus cars have the same N bell, so technically it could be there. Let me go look. Hold on. Let's see. AFX G Plus. Yeah, probably under this section here. Were you under this section? Aurora, T-Jet, AFX, Magna Traction, Auto World, Parts, CG Plus. Yeah, that's why that would be there, because that does fit in a G Plus car. It's the same end bill. Huh. I don't even see. I don't see it on this page. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh well, I don't know. Yeah, no biggie. Yeah, so something's up with this brush. It's way further back than that one. Let's look at another car. That's the top, and that's the bottom. Yet, this bottom, yeah, something don't look right with that bottom brush. I'm going to take this apart real quick. This hood car has the one end of the brush wraps around this post, and the other end goes in that slot on the brush, and that's what keeps the tension. Yeah, that's the latest one. They're like $9, Gen 4, and yeah, that's the latest. Not sure why they would be under Auto World Electrical. I think that is an error. Yeah, that's the same price that they were showing, $895. Yeah. Let's see what these brushes look like. That's the top brush. Won't look too bad. Although you can see That's not good. See that score, that black char mark? That means I filed this brush too much. There's too much space between the brush and it's arcing. Yeah, that's no good. This one's not quite as bad. The little mark right there. Let me take off these springs. Yeah, so these brushes should not really freely fall right through. I didn't realize when I was first doing this I made them too loose. I think these brushes are a little bit too loose. See, this is the crap you have to deal with building the hood systems. Way more complicated than just slapping in, and I'd already be done with an end bell car. Yeah, it's definitely too loose. Look at that, fell right out. It shouldn't slide right out. Let's see how this other one looks. Maybe I could salvage one brush. Yeah, this one's good. This one's better. See, this one doesn't come out, but yet it still moves in and out free enough. Yeah, that one's good. Let me see if I can find a different brush for the top, not one that's so loose. Well, they're the same ones that's available at the same location, same Gen 4, same part number, I'm sure, same price. It's not any different. Don't really have too many of these brushes left that so that one's good. That one's too loose. Put that one off to the side. See if any of these other brushes will work for this side. But you're right, I won't be going to the Auto World section anytime soon on Hardin Creek site, Rich. So you got that right. Come on. See, this is what's annoying about this. Can't even get the damn brush in there. Get in there. Well, that one's not coming out. That one's a little better. Still smooth. I mean, yeah, it's staying in there. Yeah, you kind of see what the brushes look like when they come through the channel there. All right. So let's see. Let's see where these brushes are sitting. Let me put this armature in here. That looks pretty good. Move this camera a little bit. Alright, let's see if I can put these springs on. These springs do go a certain way. So, yeah, this one goes like this. And put our little cap back on. So you can see that one side of the spring goes in that slot there. Although that looks a little bit too long. But let's see after I put it on. Yeah. A little bit long, and it could use a little bit of an angle too, so I'm going to tweak this spring a little bit. I'm going to trim a tiny bit off of this long edge because it's actually it's sitting in this slot, but it's actually hitting this copper or brass part here, which is not good. It should just be sitting on the brush, and as the brush wears, the spring pushes the brush in to keep contact with the comb. So let me do a quick adjustment. I like to put a little slight bend . Just so slight. Let me trim this just teeny. Teeny tiny bit. Hopefully that wasn't too much. Alright. Yeah, that's better. So now that's sitting right in the brush. Although I did make the other brush come out. I hear some thunder outside. Looks like we might be getting a storm. Let's see how This brush looks a little all right. Yeah, this side's a little too long as well. I need to trim this spring too. Darn it. Okay. All right. That looks pretty good. I do need a here we'll use this bushing. We do have a bushing, that's good. We have a fusion bushing. I need a pinion gear. Probably can use maybe a 10,000 spacer. Let's see. We'll put this together. What do I want to build? Do I want to do ceramic or spec racer? Let me see. 4 Spec Racer Fusions already built, and I only have 3 ceramic. I guess I'm going to build another ceramic super stock Fusion. So we'll use these magnets. These are ceramic magnets. Level 99. No, these are not very strong, the ceramic magnets. Like a 33.5, 33.1. Alright. I think I'm going to use this chassis. Could use this chassis. This already has. I'm going to do the one with the aluminum front end. Yeah, there's going to be a good amount of space, so I'm not even going to. I'm going to go ahead and put a 10 thousandths spacer on there just to start with. Let's see here. That's 15. That one's 5. Here we go. 10. Saving all of these little vials that my armatures and magnets came in handy to store these little small parts. Alright. For now, we'll put this 10th. I might need more than 10 thousandths, but we'll see. Actually, it's not too bad. I could live with that. Let's put our magnets on. Might as well pick the strongest side. 47.7, so that's definitely a little bit stronger. 48, that's good. Okay, magnets are in. Car is pretty much done. Just gonna put the electrical on. These N-Bell cars use these tiny springs. I mean, the Hood car uses those tiny springs for the pickup shoes. Compared to that, that's an N-Bell Fusion spring, but those shoes sit down and where'd that spring go? Did it stick to? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Thought I lost it for a second. You know how these springs tend to have a life of their own. pickup fuse a little bit. Problem I have with building these hood cars is they're never consistent. They're not, or I should say, they're not as consistent as when I build an N-Bell car. I usually always get a pretty good reading right away with my N-Bell cars. The hood cars, sometimes I have to work at adjusting the spring tension on the brushes. Well, this should hopefully spin. It does. That's a good sign. I think for the sake of testing this car, I'm going to use this rear axle out of a Spec Racer. So this is not a silly sponge rear tire setup. This is just slip-on silicone. This is like 420. I guess I need some front tires. I'm just going to put some 320s on. On this car to start with. We'll see how high it is on the setup block. Alright. 320 is a pretty common size for Fusions. Put the shiny side in. One thing you do have to do, you see how that's flared out on there? You gotta roll this on a hard surface. Get the tire to sit flat. There we go. Now they're sitting nice and flat. Alright. I guess I'll give this a little bit of oil. This car should be down in the, yeah, much less than a Spec Racer, which is around 150. This is usually under 120 on the ceramic cars. That's why we run the silly sponge tires. Actually, let's put a silly sponge rear axle in just so I can see the downforce and how this car looks on the setup block with a rear axle that would go on this car. Yeah, that's better. 115. That's around what I would expect to see. And let's see how it looks on the old Blockaroo. It's a 412. I mean, there's 112 rail block. Definitely got some separation. The magnets are not touching. It's actually probably a little bit higher than I might want it to go, but we'll see how it drives. But for now, see what kind of numbers we get on the dyno, just for the heck of it. Give this thing a little dab of oil on the bushings. Alright, let's see what the numbers look like with this thing. Whoa. Not great. And it's getting slower. Yeah, see, that's the frustrating thing with these cars, with these N-Bell, with these hood cars. You know, I could slap together an N-Bell car, do no tweaking to it like this car. I literally put this car together. And it's like, boom. 450 almost. I just have to work so much harder on the hood cars to get the same type of number that I get from an N-Bell car. I mean, this is a this is a hood car. That car significantly slowed down. Oh wait, this is the same car. That's the car we just built. This is the other hood car that I built that ran pretty good. Wow, so even this thing slowed down. This was up like 430 before the race. Now it's not even hitting 4. Yeah, I don't know. These dang hood cars, I have a hard time with consistency on them. Do you know which car you have in hand? What do you mean? I mean, here's another N-Bell car that I built. This was the car I ran in super stock yesterday. It's pretty fast. Though it has a little delay when you first put it on. It's slow and then and then it speeds up to speed. But yeah, the car I just built clearly is not happy. So I would have to start tinkering around with the brushes and try and figure out why this car is not happy. And I really don't feel like doing that right now because it's going to take too long. This thing's pretty hard. It's even slower now. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad there, Marky Boy. So this one I didn't have such good luck with. The other on Friday, I slapped together a hood car and it ran great. Not so with that one. So, oh well, I tried. I'll revisit that at some point. Try and get another good car just to have as a loaner. These are not my primary cars. Yeah, more than likely it's the spring tension or the brushes, maybe the way I sanded them, or who knows. That's just it with these hood cars. It could be a number of different things. It requires tinkering. My point is, I could build an N-Bell car that I almost have to do nothing to, and it'll be like 430 on the dyno without doing anything. I don't get that kind of result with at least for me. There are guys that, a lot of the top racers run the hood car, so when it's built right, it can definitely be very fast. I just am not an expert on, and I'll admit that, I'm not an expert on building these hood cars. I don't really know enough about the different tension springs and all the little tricks you could do with shaping the springs, and I try to put a little bend, like a little right angle there, not really right, like a 45-degree angle, so the spring is pushed flat up against the brush, that notch in the brush. There really isn't anything, there's no real adjustment, I don't think. You could buy different strength springs like 009, 010. I think there's 008 as well, so there are different tension springs. I think these were a little bit weaker spring. They felt fairly loose. I could try using some different springs if you guys are interested. See how that goes. Let me see. Since this car is useless the way it is, might as well. These are actually Ghost Cat traction magnets. They're the same as the Fusion. Terry will bend them for you for $5. $13.95. All right, let's see. thought the brushes felt pretty good as far as the travel through the channel. Oh, that brush just fell out. Yeah, some burn marks on that brush as well. I think this bottom brush is a little bit loose as well. Hate to say it, it just slid right through, came right out. Yeah. I don't even know if I have any new brushes left. I think I've sanded all of these. Oh, this might be a new brush. Let's see how tight this one is. These brushes, and these are heavier duty springs, some of these that I've already kind of pre-bent. Those are Ghost Cat springs, actually. Hey, Machine Slot Car. All right, I'm gonna just rebuild this real quick. I wonder. Uh-oh. Did I take apart the wrong car? Now I don't even remember. Was this the one that... Hopefully I didn't just take apart a good car. Let's see how slow this car is. Oh, dang it, I did. Took apart the wrong car. This is the one we just built. Oops. Well, that's annoying. I thought so, because this had a blue plastic bushing. This one's a metal, a copper bushing. I guess I'm rebuilding two cars. But I'm not going to rebuild two cars now. I'm just going to put this one back together with these springs. And we'll see how this car runs at least. That's what happens when you got too many cars sitting on in front of you. these brushes do go in a certain way. The leading edge goes on the bottom if you have the bulkhead this way with the front facing up, and the leading edge goes on the top on this side of the brush. So you gotta make sure you put the brushes in right, or your car won't really run right. Yeah. What I do with the heck did I do with the armature that was in this car? I'm losing parts. Where is the armature that was in this car? Am I losing my mind? Oh crap. The armature fell on the floor. Oh no. That's not good. I think it's time to take a break. And of course I lost the metal bushing. That's annoying. I mean, the metal spacer, I should say. Viper Mike, you'll have to go back and rewatch the beginning of this video. I did a whole rundown on my results and everything, so I don't want to revisit that right now. I did okay, but I show, if you go back to this video, I show all the results from the Facebook page, from our group's Facebook page. For crying out loud, I just made this brush fall out. You know what, I'm just gonna do them one at a time. Put the springs back in. Gravity is no longer my friend at my age. That doesn't sound good. Well, Oh yeah, this is not even a ceramic car. I took apart a spec racer. This was actually the car that I let Vinny run. That ran pretty darn good. I probably just ruined it. I never get the same result twice with these hood cars. Guess we're gonna find out. Yeah, this should have been a dead giveaway. These magnets are. These magnets are not ceramic magnets. All right. All right, well, that car is back together. I'll finish this car and then I'm gonna call it for this evening because I'm getting hungry. Okay. Alright, car is back together, for better or for worse. Clean up all of my parts here. This is kind of my hood system electrical bin, parts bin here. Springs and brushes that may or may not work. Use them at your own risk. All right. There we go. Yeah, see, that's... But this car, before I rebuilt it, this car was like this Friday. Then I just raced it yesterday, put it on before, and it wasn't even hitting 4. Now I rebuilt it, and it's back up to 430. So, I don't know, these cars, to me, they lose their tension. I don't know. They don't stay as consistent as the N-Bell car does to me. Yeah, this is a good running car now, but we'll see if it stays that way. I knew it was going to be fast based on its over 1 at the lowest 5-volt setting. I mean, that's a really good number, 440. It's definitely a good running car now. So. Exactly. Yeah, Vinny wanted to buy this car from me. I was actually hesitant to sell him a hood car, though, because I know he's not going to want to work on a hood car. I'd rather build him a good N-Bell car. So. All right, guys. I'm at about an hour and a half that I've been on, so I'll save rebuilding this car for another day. $199 is a little high, but with a body, this car would go for easily 130, even 140. I mean, to buy one of these from Wizard completely built and ready to run is like 115 without a body. So yep. Have a good evening, everybody, and enjoy your upcoming week. For those of you that have to work, like me, back to work tomorrow. So, yeah, they're not cheap, these cars, by any means, these Fusions. But, all right, guys, have a good night. Talk with everybody soon. Appreciate you hanging out with me. All right. Thanks, Mike. Rich. See you guys. See you, Snuggie.